start today's session by asking ourselves a very powerful question. Question that we all can benefit from. And the question is, what is the purpose of our life? What is the purpose of our life? Anyone? Now, purpose is different than goals. So let's not confuse purpose of life with what our goals are. Our goals can be many. Some of us want to become a musician, some of us want to become a sports person, or a physician, or a teacher. Goals can be many. But purpose for everyone is only one. And the purpose of life is to know who am I? Who am I? And what powers I'm born with? What are the original qualities of my soul? And how I can connect with those powers, and as I am achieving my goals in the outer world, how I can use those powers to achieve the highest possible goals and be victorious in life. That is the purpose. We are born to experience the power that we all have been given. And as we use that power to operate throughout the day with different things that we do everything the best. When we are compared with other people, it becomes very obvious that we excel in everything, that perfection flows through us, that excellence flows through us. Anything we touch, it's done the best possible way. The outcomes are beautiful. So, goals are external, and goals can vary from person to person to person, but purpose of life is internal, and purpose is the same no matter who we are, what gender we belong to, what country we belong to, what nationality we are from, what age group we are from. The purpose always remains the same for all human beings. Very powerful. Now, who am I? Yogic science gives us a very beautiful explanation that I am not what I just look like. 2 hands, 2 eyes, and a body, and 2 feet, and 7 systems. No. I am so much more. The things that I can't see carry more weight, more powers than the gross body that we can see. I am a very powerful soul. I am filled with strength, inner beauty, confidence. I am a point of light. And what are my qualities? My original qualities that I am born with, that I am happy. I am a very happy being. I am born with tons and tons of happiness. I am very peaceful, very balanced. These are the original qualities of my soul. So when I become aware of who I am, what my powers are, how I can connect with those powers, know what my original qualities are, and when I connect with everything that I'm born with, and then work out of that higher soul consciousness, then there is no stress. Then there is so much excitement, there is so much enthusiasm. In everything that I do, I look forward to every moment. I become the master of every moment of my life. But we must take the time to know and understand, because most of the times when I don't know what kind of powers I'm born with, and I only work with my external body with limited strength, then I only go so far in life. That's when we say, with age, we have to age. With age, my strength will go down. With age, my health will deteriorate. It's normal. These are the belief systems I create. But when I become aware of who I am, I'm equipped to do everything that I want to do in life. If I connect with the inner systems, I do not need to acquire anything from the outer world. How beautiful. I do not need to acquire anything from the outer world to stay happy, healthy, peaceful, stable and successful in life. So on that level, we all are equal. Right? On an outer level, we vary by weight, by height, by beauty, by financial status. But when we start to compare from the inner point of view, we all are very beautiful, powerful, spiritual souls. When we are not aware of this fact, and when we are not connected with these powers, that's when we start to feel sad, we attract disease, pain, mental stress comes to our life, disappointment, vocabulary such as, oh, I can't do this, or I have no choice, or I can't be creative, or this is too much for me. These kinds of negative statements I start to make because I'm only working with my physical body. Now, once our starting point is right, now we know what is the purpose of my life, who am I? I'm born with these qualities. The moment I know, I become very confident. Wow, this is who I am. Then as I bring all these powers in all the roles that I play, I become the best in every role and responsibility that I carry. So if I'm a mom, I become the best mom in the whole world. If I'm a dad, I become the best dad, fulfilling all my roles and responsibilities towards my wife, towards my children, towards my colleagues, at work, at home, towards my friends, best. If I'm a wife, I become the best spouse, best wife. And it happens. I want to give you an example. Many times friends of our children come to our home and they've mentioned it to our children that, you have very cool parents. Wish I had parents like you. Not any different than any other parents, but when you operate out of that soul consciousness, it is felt. Your vibration, your positivity, your happy state of being, your peacefulness is felt by each and every individual, small or big, who comes in contact with you. So, happiness, peace, strength, these are not the goals that we have in life. This is a way to achieve our goals. Yoga teaches us that I'm already happy, and out of that happiness, when I operate and do my daily activities, I am going to go very far in life. So know and understand that I'm already full of happiness, full of peace, full of inner strength. Now what do I have to be? Careful. I'm full here. What do I need to be careful? As I am maneuvering with this world, as I am interacting with this world to do my work, to fulfill my roles and responsibilities, make sure that I don't spill any of this energy, any of this happiness, any of this peace is not depleted. That the cup is full and it stays full. That's all I have to worry about. As I'm doing things, make sure that I'm not doing it at the cost of trading my happiness, my peace, my inner balance is not disturbed. That's all. Now think about it. This is a glass that's filled with water, right? It's filled with water, and if I have to hold this glass and just walk around with it all day, and I want to make sure the water is not spilled, what do I have to do? Anyone?
Not to be conscious.
Not to be conscious, okay. Anybody else? I am walking around with this glass of water, and I want to make sure all day, 12 hours, the water is not filled.
You have to be balanced.
Balanced, okay. Very good. Anyone else? Think. You can come out. You're getting close. That I am focused. When I'm focused on this glass, if my focus is not on you, but my focus is only on glass, all day I will be able to keep the glass full of water, isn't it? The moment my focus leaves the glass and goes to somebody else, chances of spilling is there, right? Similarly, all day when our focus is on our own self, we don't have to really take a lot of time out to do this. It's very simple. As I'm doing things, all I need to make sure inside that I stay happy, that no one should be able to disrupt my happiness, my peace. And if I feel it's disrupted, switch, change, like we talked about it last week, check, change, check, change. Every hour, check, change, and then move on to your next hour's projects. So at the end of the day, if my energy is still there, if my happiness is still there, if my peace is still there, I haven't lost anything. I started my day beautiful, I'm ending it with beautiful strength, inner beauty, purity. Then what will happen? At the end of the day, I will be able to spend quality time with my loved ones, my relationships will enhance, right? There won't be any stress, no negativity, my productivity will remain, and overall, I will be victorious in every area of my life. I'm different then. Usually people think whatever everyone is doing, that is the correct way of living. No, this is the correct way of living. Even though 99.9% of the people are walking in that direction, where every day is a repetitive day, for them, it doesn't have to be for us. So when we start operating out of our soul consciousness, when we start to connect with all these inner powers that we are born with, when we make sure that our energy stays intact, that no one should be able to take that energy away from us, then we can become the best counselor for our own self. Now think about it. Whenever we have any problem, we go to others. Who do we go to? We go to the person who's not an angry person, who's loving, who's caring, who's wise, who's balanced. And when we go there and we talk to them, they will give us piece of advice, and the moment we start listening to that piece of advice, our expression starts to become different. We become a little more peaceful. Oh, very good idea. Oh, I can do this. The moment we listen to someone's advice, who we care, respect, our expressions on the face start to change. All of a sudden we start to become a little more confident. What does that tell us? That we all already have that power. That when we hear those suggestions, we start to feel confident. And similarly, when others come to us and we give them suggestion, their expressions start to change and we see that they are now being empowered. That means we already have that power. Without knowledge, we are doing it. And once we are aware that we are very powerful, and then we start becoming our own counselor, similarly, all we need to do is, instead of now going to others, Yoga said, become your own counselor, become your own guru, become your own physician. Is silent your mind, sit down and put that question right in front of you. In that silence, all the answers will come. The moment you'll close your eyes, shut your eyes to the outer world, connect with your higher consciousness, inner powers, you will be amazed. Similar suggestions and even better suggestions will come to you than anybody else can give you. But we are not used to. Going out to someone else for help is hard. Going in and asking the same question to your own self is easy. But what do? We still go the hard way. Now think about it. Whenever we go to others for suggestion, first of all, the options that are given to us are based upon that person's capacity, that person's sanskara, that person's way of thinking, that person's physical and mental strength, right? Now, what you can do, I may not be able to do. So you're giving me a response based upon your capabilities, but I may not be able to do this. I tell you to lift that table, and yes, you are able to lift it, but when you tell me to lift that table, I am not able to. I only know what my capabilities are. So where would the answer, the best answer come from? Me, isn't it? And you will also see that we tend to keep asking the same question over and over and over again till we like the answer. We already know what we want, we just need confirmation. We'll keep asking, so what do you think? So what do you think? So what do you think? Until we find the answer that matches with what I like. I keep going, I keep asking. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? We keep asking everybody till we find the person who matches the answer that's what I like to hear. So, very important that we can create this counselor inside when we start doing these yogic practices and when we become very aware of the powers that we carry and we connect with those powers, then we start asking those questions to our own inner self and we come out with the best answers. Another thing when we become yoginis, when we start doing yogic practice is that we learn not to postpone any pain. Any physical pain or mental pain that hits us, instantly take care of it. Sometimes problems come in our way, challenges come in our way, and what do? We become very scared. Oh, and what do? We want to avoid it, we want to postpone it, isn't it? Some project that is very difficult, I don't like it, it will require a very long time to finish it. What do? I want to forget about it, I want to avoid it. How do we do it? We may want to just watch a movie, or go on vacation, or party, or shopping, so we can forget. So say that I'm in pain and I'm sitting and watching a movie. So for 3 hours I'll forget that pain, right? But after 3 hours, the moment my distraction of the movie is gone, pain comes back. And sometimes pain is aggravated because I let it go. I avoided it. Yoga is all about the moment you experience any physical and mental pain, take care of it. Do not postpone it. The need of the hour is to do not postpone anything, any challenge, any physical or mental problem that comes in our way. Take care of it right away so that you can put an end to it. Now, when we start doing yoga, our strength increases, our awareness with this higher knowledge increases, we become very wise, clarity increases. With purification, the old sanskaras, the old way of thinking, the old way of that negative mindset is burned, and the new sanskaras, the purity fills us in. So there are 4 things that help us to achieve this purpose of life. First one is this higher knowledge, that we always start the session with this knowledge, so that once we become very interested, we become more curious about our powers. We are able to discriminate between good and bad, what's right for me and what's wrong for me. I can tell, I don't need to go to a consultant or counselor to ask. I can just make that decision for myself. When we do that, this higher knowledge helps us to understand who am I, what powers I am born with, how I can connect them, how I can stay connected. The connection should never be disconnected. As I am moving from project to project, as I am doing my interactions with the world, but my connection should stay intact so that there is light that's showing me the direction, where to go, what to do. It's exactly like when you put your hand in a fire and then you say, oh, I shouldn't do this because it will burn me. All these kinds of indications, intuition comes to you when there is danger, when there is risk in what you're doing, when something that you're doing is not right. All these indications come to you when there is purity inside. So knowledge of who I am. Then second thing is yoga. So second step is when we start doing yogic practice now. When we do our yogic exercises, pranayama, yogic breathing and meditation, with all those things, we start to connect with the inner powers. With the yogic breathing, with the power of breath, when we connect to the inner spirit, when we close our eyes and ears to the outer noise, and we go in, when we connect, instantly we feel so empowered. So yogic practice is the second thing. Third thing is implementation. So the things that we are talking about, start to implement those in your lives. Just knowing itself is not enough. Not just lipping but living the information is what makes the difference. Otherwise it's useless. So know and understand, who am I? I have all this power. Now let me use it. So I start operating out of those belief systems. I'm confident. I'm full of life. I'm very strong. My inner beauty, my inner positivity, my inner strength is going to back me up in everything that I do. And fourth thing is, when we are knowledgeable about this higher knowledge, when we do yogic practice to connect with the inner powers, and then we start implementing this higher knowledge to live yogic way, then fourth thing is that service comes out. Service comes out of it, that we start sharing that knowledge by serving others. We don't just leave it to ourselves. We are not then selfish. We are moving from selfish to unselfish to selfless. We start sharing, and as we share, whatever we share, it comes back to us 1,000 times more. So, by doing and following these 4 steps, we burn old belief systems, old way of wrong living, and we create new ways of living with new mindset, and we are reborn. Every day we are reborn. We get up and we are shocked at our own self. Oh, this is me. I was never like this. This is me. I shocked my own self. And as I connect with my inner powers, I stay with the original qualities of my soul. As I am disconnected from those qualities, that's when I become angry, I become frustrated, I become stressed, I become unhappy, I become negative, I become powerless, I lose my balance. And I attract disease, physical and mental. As I stay connected with these powers, none of that can touch me because I am so strong. Relatively, the outer world is weaker. So when we know what should be our starting point, how should we start our day, every day, what powers I need to connect, how I should just secure my energy and not allow anybody to deplete it, and I go for the real wealth, because the purpose of life is not to accumulate only material possessions, but to increase godly qualities in our life. And when we do that, then not only internal richness is born, but the world is at your feet. The worldly success is also at your feet. So with these words of wisdom, let's go ahead and stand up and we'll do some yogic stretches.